We won't judge you if you waited until the last minute. Just be prepared to stand in some lines. Today is the day to get your tax returns in.
And families displaced by an apartment collapse are finally being allowed to return home 1 week later.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning, everybody, and thanks for joining us on this Monday, April 15th. Our friend Danica Lewis is on vacation today, so we brought in Josh Breiter from the cold to spend some time with us.
Good to be here.
Welcome to the desk.
Straight days. You guys are stuck with me for that long.
I
Can
know.
you do
It'll be
it?
fun.
And speaking of being inside for 5 straight days, now we have nice weather.
Of course.
You don't have to be outside.
We knew
recording.
this was going to happen, right?
I know, but you know what? You would have needed an umbrella this week because we have a lot of rain in the forecast. Just not today. Enjoy the forecast today. It's a nice turnaround from yesterday. I know. I picked this one because this was the best shot at this hour. The Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville showing you the beautiful sunrise underway. Sun comes up just about 6:15 this morning. There are no clouds to report right now in the area, so a lot of sunshine for the first part of the day. Later on this afternoon, those clouds should begin to move back into southern Wisconsin. At least we're still at 23. We haven't dropped yet here in Madison. 23 is the current temperature, 28 now in Janesville, 32 still in Mineral Point, down to 22 in the Dells. It is a chilly start to the day, but temperatures should warm quickly. We're headed to highs in the low 50s, which is a heck of a lot better than it was yesterday. 38 was the official high yesterday. Here's a look at the traffic maps this morning. Starting to see a few brake lights on Stoughton Road, but otherwise no other major issues in and around Madison. Looking out around Dane County, looks like travel on the interstate is just fine at this hour.
I know this is just April in Wisconsin, but I feel like every year Easter sees snow or really cold temperatures.
Well, and Easter's late this year, so let's hope that we're not seeing snow on Easter.
That's no promises.
I need some vitamin D. That's all I know.
I know.
Come on.
I know. We have some sun coming up this weekend, but
That's good.
quite a few clouds in between now and then.
All right. Well, look forward to hearing about that. Thank you, Addie.
You're welcome.
Well, just into the Channel 3000 Alert Center this morning, a crash investigation is closing down a stretch of road in Blooming Grove. The Dane County Sheriff's Office says a traffic stop just after midnight ended with the driver trying to speed away and crashing into a power pole on Fair Oaks Avenue. The crash snapped the pole in half and led to live wires being exposed, and the driver got away. That driver still hasn't been found, but Fair Oaks Avenue is closed between Chicago and Webb Avenues just south of Highway 30 until at least 7 this morning.
New this morning, investigators are still on the scene of a fire at an apartment building on the UW campus. The first calls came in just after 2:30 for a fire in the bedroom of one of the apartments along North Francis Street, about a block or so from the Kohl Center. Crews were able to put out that fire quickly, though it's not clear yet what started it. In the meantime, UW police have opened up the Gordon Dining Hall to allow residents to stay there while that building is being cleaned up. No injuries were reported.
All you procrastinators are probably going to be taking the morning off today. It is tax day. Your taxes must be postmarked or filed electronically before midnight, and if you're not ready to file today, you can request a 6-month extension. To do that, you need to file Form 4868, giving you until October 15th to file your 2018 taxes. That extension does not mean you also get an extension on paying any taxes you may owe. It's estimated 15 million Americans will file for an extension.
We have an update this morning on the West Side apartment collapse that left dozens of people displaced. People living in that building at Summit Hill Apartments are now being allowed to return home after city inspectors approved the reinforcement work. That's according to an email sent to residents overnight. Contractors working in the basement of the building knocked down a load-bearing wall last Monday, causing multiple units there to collapse. It was later discovered those contractors didn't have the permits they needed to be doing that work. People living in 30 apartments in all were evacuated from that building until it was considered safe to return. The apartment complex's management company says they will reimburse those people for time and items lost in that collapse. More local news this morning. Madison will officially have a new mayor this week as Mayor-elect Satya Rhodes-Conway prepares to officially be sworn in tomorrow. On her agenda is sending out the budget instructions for departments like fire and police. The mayor-elect has previously said the Madison Fire Department could benefit from another ambulance, and that is something she will consider. An alder on Madison's Far East Side told us fire response times have been a growing issue in her district, where there are neighborhoods with up to 20-minute response times. Rhodes-Conway says it's premature to say whether fire or police departments will get more funding, but she is looking forward to reading their proposals.
It's actually really important to me that I have a good relationship with both departments, but even more important, and one of the reasons that I wanted to come out here today, is to thank the folks, the firefighters, that are keeping our city safe.
The incoming mayor is asking departments to describe how their goals align with Imagine Madison. That's the city's comprehensive plan. All right, 6:05 your time now. Spring cleaning, not just for your home. You also spend a lot of time in the family car.
More than likely, your car took a beating both inside and out over the winter, and our Maddie O'Neill is live to show us some of those easy cleaning hacks to help us feel good about our ride. Maddie, good morning.
Hey, Josh and Leah. Yeah, so we've talked about how important it is to get the salt off the outside of your car, but if you're anything like me, the inside probably looks pretty salty too. So we're gonna tackle that in a second, do some spring cleaning. I might have selfishly volunteered my car to get that, but we'll check in with that in a second. First, there are some things you'll want to consider. So you want to get all of the salt washed off first from the exterior of your car, the wheel wells, undercarriage, all of that. Smart Motors Service Manager Jim Ward says they've noticed over the last couple of winters more problems to the mechanics of cars because of all the chemicals we've got on our roadways. He also says spring is a good time to replace the engine air filter and cabin filter in your vehicle if your regular maintenance hasn't included that in a while. That will especially help allergy sufferers.
Beyond what you might think of just washing and waxing the outside of the car and cleaning the seats and the upholstery, those are probably some of the more in-depth things to think about, is getting that HVAC system cleaned out if you start to notice those musty odors before it either really starts to smell like the gym bag or before you start getting some symptoms of allergies from them.
As far as what kind of car wash you use, Ward says touchless is best, and once it's clean, waxing will help protect that surface over time. Now, the interior might be just as important. We've got my floor mat here, and fair warning, it was pretty dirty to start out with, but I think we're doing an okay job. We already started on this part a little bit, and I can tell you it was worse before. So Ward recommends using organic things, no harsh chemicals, and that can be as simple as things you find in your cupboard. So what we've got here, it's about a 50-50 mix of vinegar and water, touch of baking soda. So what we've been doing is, you can see the salt clearly here, spray it on, been getting it in there. Then we're gonna wanna wipe that off. We're gonna come back to this just after 6:30, see how we're doing. But this, Leah and Josh, can be used for other things inside your car. You can use it on the dash and carpet, so we'll check and see how we're doing.
I know Leah's already making some notes right here, acting like this is just from the winter. This is any time with her, so it doesn't matter.
I'm not making notes, you guys. I'm going to go grab my mats, bring them down to you, Maddie, if you have time.
I was going to say, bring them out, you know. We got it.
I will take you up on that. All right.
Looking good already.
Madeline O'Neill reporting for us this morning. Thank you, Maddie.
All right, 6:07 right now. If you're a parent, you'll want to make sure your kid is set up for success in their future. There's an effort here in Wisconsin to do just that and help get kids interested in career fields that need workers. We'll tell you how your son or daughter can learn the tools of the trade when it comes to construction up next.
Pretty cool interview there. And after a cold and dreary weekend, Hattie says the sun coming out to start our work week. Look at that gorgeous sunrise in Platteville. She's in next with more of that in our First Alert forecast on News 3 Now this morning.
Good Monday morning from the Hattie-O patio. It's a little chilly outside right now, but a nice forecast coming up, much better than what we saw over the weekend. Now, we didn't really see any snow here in Madison, but parts of the state saw quite a bit of snow yesterday. Here's a look at snow accumulation with that latest storm in far southeastern Wisconsin in Racine and Kenosha counties. 6 to 8 inches of snow on the ground from that storm yesterday. Luckily, reports that the pavement was still pretty warm, so not a lot of issues on the roads, but still, that's a lot of snow for mid-April. It will be melting, though, over the coming days. High temperatures yesterday. You can see where the clouds were and where it was a little bit nicer to the north and west. La Crosse actually topped close to 50 yesterday. We were stuck in the 30s here in Madison. It was just 34 in Waukesha. High temperature trend over the next 10 days, though, gets a little closer to normal. We're within a couple of degrees of that normal line right through the next 10 days, which is great news. And as we head towards the end of April, normal highs are getting into the low 60s. Now, nothing left on the radar map this morning. That storm system from yesterday is well off to our east, and looking to the west, it's still pretty quiet. So that is the good news. We don't really have any precipitation through the day today. Weather track shows you that skies are clear as well. A lot of clouds, though, off to the west that will make their way into the area later this afternoon. We start with temperatures in the 20s and 30s. It's pretty chilly in the Great Lakes region, especially here in Wisconsin, where temperatures in some spots were down into the teens this morning. It is only 21 in Camp Douglas, 22 in the Dells, 23 here in Madison, jumps to 28 in Janesville, and 29 in Platteville this morning. Not much of a wind to talk about, so no wind chill to factor in this morning. Temperatures should actually warm pretty quickly today. We'll go through the 20s and 30s, well into the 40s by lunchtime. There you see those clouds just moving into our western viewing area this afternoon and spreading across the area with highs in the 50s. We do have a chance for rain late today into tonight as a warm front lifts northward into the region. Overnight lows tonight will be a little warmer. By tomorrow morning, we'll be in the 40s, headed to highs in the 60s during the afternoon. Better get that rain gear handy, though. Find the umbrella because you'll need it this week. Chances for rain are on the forecast Tuesday through Friday. Looks to dry out, though, for the upcoming holiday weekend. For Easter, 64 with some sunshine. Now let's get a look at your first alert traffic maps with Josh Tim. Good morning, Josh.
Yeah, good morning. A quiet start on the Beltline so far. No major delays yet in either direction at this point. As we look at other roads here in Dane County, there was a crash earlier in the town of Blooming Grove that left a utility pole damaged. Will need to be repaired, so Fair Oaks will be closed between Chicago and Webb Avenue till at least 7 a.m., so just make sure you plan ahead today. Nothing to slow you down on campus. Volume not a problem yet. And other routes heading into Madison, they're moving at the posted speeds with no major issues. Your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Josh, thank you, and Hattie, thank you as well. All right, jobs in the construction sector are growing in Wisconsin with a 4% increase in just the past year.
Yeah, most high schools don't offer courses to prepare students to fill those jobs, but there is an opportunity for your child to learn through a hands-on apprenticeship. Nick Sutherland is joining us this morning to share how Destinations Career Academy of Wisconsin is helping to build those opportunities. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
So glad to have you. You know, we are seeing a shortage of construction workers across Wisconsin, right? How are you folks dealing with that? Yeah,
I mean, that's accurate. The affiliated contractors that work with the operating engineers right now it's gotten to the point where they can't take certain jobs because there's just not people to fill the seats. So the operating engineers stepped forward as we launched the Destinations Career Academy as our first trade partner. And they took their first year and a half, about 200 hours of their adult apprenticeship program, put it into an online curriculum that we offer on a statewide basis to any student in Wisconsin that wants it.
So you guys are looking for students right now. Why might this be appealing to somebody that's maybe kind of looking to figure out what their career path is going to be?
Well, being able to explore different industry pathways while you're in high school helps you kind of put a target on what your post-secondary plans are going to be. This program in particular, students can start with an exploratory course. We offer that to our full-time enrolled students, or a student who wants to just stay in their resident high school and take it on a part-time basis can take each of the courses while staying with their resident school.
This sounds like great hands-on experience. What are you hearing from some of the students who are enrolled?
The students are really excited, and I think the biggest part of this is it gives them a leg up, and it gives them basically the competencies that they need to go forward and approach one of the affiliated contractors and say, hey, look, I've taken these courses. I'm already on my way towards earning these apprenticeship hours. I've already got some college credit through Fox Valley Technical College, and I'm ready to show up and do the work and basically get a job doing whatever they can with that affiliate contractor because they need to be sponsored as an adult to be an adult apprentice.
What sort of skills does a career like this take? Because obviously there's a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why it's called the skilled trades. It's very high tech now. These machines all run GPS. The students have to be math proficient if you're trying to figure out how to do road grading and stuff like that. You can't just walk in off the street without prior knowledge and step into the seat of a $500,000 piece of machinery and get to work. So,
if anybody's interested in enrolling, learning more, where can they go?
They can go to our website, widca.k12.com, and they can check out, and we have full-time enrollment options on there as well. There's also part-time enrollment options through part-time open enrollment in Wisconsin, or districts can partner with us on a larger scale through a program we call DCA Direct.
All right, you're looking at those details right there on your screen. Nick, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, time right now is 6:17, and I think we're all ready for spring to get here and stay here, especially after seeing some snow again.
Yes, the Weather Office might have some good news for us on that front. Taddy and Chris are looking ahead to when we can expect things to finally warm up. That's up next on News 3 Now this morning.
Cobra
Good morning, I'm meteorologist Hattie McLean. Your News 3 Now First Alert forecast starts with some sunshine. Here's the view from the Queen Bee Radio Sky Cam in Platteville. Nice colors in the sky this morning as the sun comes up. Let's take a look at the weather track, which is satellite and radar combined. Really not much in the way of cloud cover for southern Wisconsin right now. I do expect some clouds to roll in, though, for later on in the afternoon. Now, our current temperatures are in the 20s and 30s in a few spots. Not many 30s left on the map at this hour. Still 32 in Mineral Point, but now Monroe has dropped to 29. Janesville's at 28. Madison is at 23. Watertown is down to 21, so a little chilly in some spots. You'll definitely want the jacket this morning, but you may be able to take off a layer this afternoon. Look for an increase in the clouds with high temperatures in the lower 50s. Now, I know the kids are going to need the rain gear for the rest of the week, but Chris, what do you think about that snow gear? Can we pack it up just yet?
They might be able to go ahead and pack up the snow gear. I know we were talking, folks, with the snow pants that are 2 inches too short. They finally may be able to get rid of those things as we move forward. And that's just because we are starting to see some warming temperatures that are building over the western half of the country. And that western warmth is going to continue to work its way on in. So as we jump over towards the weather graphics, we'll see what eventually does happen in time. Here are those temperatures, and you're ultimately looking at the jet stream. Watch how that warmth really begins to build over the western half of the country. We'll get a little cold shot this weekend. That could actually bring severe weather to the deep south, but then it's more warmth that builds after that. That warmth continues to build over time, and while we see some cold shots in there, notice that the core of the cold is on the other side of the globe, folks, but still there's plenty of tropical warmth to tap into. That it is what is going to drive our weather. Temperature-wise, over the next 10 days, you'll actually notice those temperatures gradually trending above average for the most part. Even our cold shots, folks, have temperatures that are in the 50s and 60s. Our cold shots have temperatures in the 50s and 60s. So with that, the next 6 to 10 days, we'll see an above average trend of temperatures across the entire country. Not just the next 6 to 10 days, but the next 8 to 14 days. We will see an above average trend in temperatures. However, the one downside is that with the warmer temperatures, you're going to add more moisture to the air, and with the active storm systems or active storm pattern coming in, we're going to watch several systems work their way across the country as we go through the next couple of weeks. And so that is going to bring lots of rain chances. We'll have our nice days too. There will be nice days, but still we'll see several rain chances coming into the mix, but things will be a lot warmer.
Hey.
As long as, the temperatures stay warm, that's all that, I can take a little rain. Just
I know, Leah's little happy dance, and I said our cold shots with temperatures in the 50s and 60s, that was great.
I know Chris is kind of missing the snow, so
Am
at least
I?
the rain will keep you excited. Am I?
Oh, I don't know.
Are you done with it?
Well, severe weather season is approaching, and you know,
that's true.
It's
Busy.
time. I need my
excitement.
nice, 6 months of storms before we go back to October. So
And then August will come around and he'll be wanting to make snow angels.
Exactly.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Exactly.
So over the next couple weeks, enjoy it while it lasts.
Sounds good to us.
Certainly will.
My pleasure.
Thank you,
All right,
Chris.
thanks, Chris. It is 6:24 right now. A congresswoman from Minnesota says she's now receiving death threats after a tweet by President Trump about her. We'll have those details coming up in the morning sprint.
And when is it okay for a teacher to make physical contact with your child? The Madison School District hoping to give parents those answers this week. More local news is next on News 3 Now this morning. A middle school teacher in the Milwaukee area is on leave this morning after allegedly separating students by race and telling black students to study games slaves used to play.
We'll check in with how our spring cleaning is going out here in the garage, along with a few more suggestions on getting your car looking as good as new.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning and welcome to the final half hour of News 3 Now this morning on this Monday, April 15th. Look at that sunrise.
Look at that.
That is gorgeous. We need some more of that in our lives, and I think Hattie has it today.
That is how you start off the work week right there. All right, we'll send it out to Hads out on the Hattie-O patio. Beautiful start, but kind of chilly out there, Hattie.
A little chilly, definitely, but sure is nice to see clear skies. We have a lot of sun in our forecast today, and that'll be a nice change after the chilly, cloudy weekend. Take a live look from the Edgewater Sky Cam at downtown Madison. Sun shining on the Capitol Dome this morning. It is a chilly start. No clouds, though, in the area at all. Weather track is completely clear across southern Wisconsin, so enjoy a nice sunny start to your Monday morning. Temperatures are a little chilly. Many spots are starting in the 20s this morning, and even some in the low 20s. 22 in Lone Rock, 23 in Madison, 21 in Camp Douglas, as well as Watertown this morning. Should be a nice quick warm up though through the 30s and 40s into the low 50s this afternoon. Wind should stay pretty light through the day. An increase in the clouds though is expected late today into tonight. And then after that, we have some rain in our forecast. We'll talk about that though coming up in Maine weather. Let's get you up to date though on those traffic maps this morning. Starting to see some slowdowns inbound on Park Street, just a little bit, and maybe a little slow by Monona Terrace this morning, but otherwise no accidents to report. Looking at some of those major routes into Madison, looks like you're still going at posted speeds. That's your first alert traffic.
I feel like that sunrise out there is just enough to warm us up on a Monday.
Isn't that beautiful?
That's
oh my
right.
Gosh.
Not so tough to get going on a Monday when it looks like this outside.
There you go. Some good news. Got to stay positive. All right, Hattie, thank you.
You're welcome.
More local news this morning. A man is recovering after he was shot multiple times at a bar in Beloit over the weekend. Police say that man was shot inside Rooney's Pub just after 1 in the morning on Sunday. Officers say the shooter left in a dark-colored SUV. That person still missing this morning. They do think the suspect and the victim knew each other, so this was not a random act. Anyone with information, anyone who might have seen something, should call Beloit police. A middle school gym teacher outside Milwaukee is on indefinite leave this morning while district officials look into claims that she separated students in one class by race and assigned the black children to research games that enslaved kids used to play. Shorewood Superintendent Brian Davis wrote in a letter to parents that the intermediate gym teacher was instructing 7th graders about games from around the world when she allegedly gave that assignment to only the black students. That teacher is not being named at this time while the district conducts an internal investigation. The school is also providing counselors and psychologists for any students in need of support.
Today, Madison teachers are meeting with a national group dedicated to improving school culture and climate. Those experts with National Safe Schools convening will share research-based best practices and lead skill-building exercises. Counselors, community leaders and parents are also invited to attend. You can register online at safeschoolsnation.org/Madison. That conference is from 8 until 3 today at the Madison Marriott West in Middleton.
Madison parents, there's another event this week to help answer your questions when it comes to when and how teachers can make physical contact with your student. This comes just weeks after an incident at Whitehorse Middle School when a staff administrator there was accused of ripping out a student's braids. A panel tomorrow will explain the policy at Madison School District when it comes to physical contact, along with the process behind deciding individual education plans and special education services. Panelists include a district principal, a special education teacher, a student resource officer, and the district's coordinator of intensive support and critical responses, along with a civil rights attorney and a pediatrician.
6:31 right now. An area hospital is expanding as it hopes to better serve patients outside the big city. Columbus Community Hospital, which covers communities within about a 25-mile radius, including Beaver Dam and Sun Prairie, is planning a $15 million expansion project. That includes a new clinic building, relocating the pharmacy, a new rehab center, dining area remodels, and empty space for potential future expansion. The hospital says having an independent health system available to those in their hometown or close to it is a big benefit.
The costs of transportation are often not factored in when receiving care, not to mention the convenience. As we deal with elderly population that have more difficulties getting to a larger tertiary center.
The Columbus Community Hospital just finished up an expansion project within the past 5 years, not expecting to continue growing as much as they have.
All right, so we talk about spring cleaning for your house quite often, but what about spring cleaning for your car? Mine definitely needs it.
Your whole life needs it sometimes.
Let's be honest.
As we are now seeing more mild temperatures, experts say this is the perfect time to show your car some love, and I'm showing you some love too. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Maddie O'Neill's live to help us all feel good about our ride this morning. Maddie, good morning.
Help us out, Maddie.
Josh and Leah, good morning. I think these might be the most productive live shots I've ever done. Our hands are getting a little dirty out here, but we've been showing you, been cleaning this floor mat. Actually got out my other floor mat, sprayed it down with this solution. So we've been wiping it down. It looks a lot better than it did. A little dirty, but again, it's my floor mat, so my car is dirty. I feel you, Leah. So we've been using this solution. I've been using it inside the rest of my car too, to just get that dirt and grime off. And it's made with stuff you can find in your cupboard. Again, it's just vinegar, water, a little bit of baking soda. We'll have that on our website coming up after the show here. But of course, you want to make sure the outside of your car is nice and clean too. Smart Motors Service Manager Jim Ward says touchless car washes are best. That way you can avoid the chance of a dirty brush scratching your car. But does the basic wash differ from the premium? You might be surprised to hear some of the extras could help the exterior of your car. Ward says it's usually just a temporary impact, especially when it comes to clear coat. That's why you may want to think about the old saying, wax on, wax off.
If you start noticing that the water doesn't beat up as well anymore, then it's time to either go to the automatic car wash and you can have coatings applied there, or use the synthetic wax, which is very easy to put on, or use some elbow grease and get that carnauba wax and put that stuff on.
Ward says the more times you do that, the deeper the protection is on the car. He says synthetic wax is both cheaper and will last longer than carnauba wax, which looks the best, but it's more expensive and also has a shorter lifespan. Now, if you get annoyed about streaks on your window, Ward says newspaper is actually the best way to get rid of those. You'll just want to make sure you can wipe your hand on the newspaper and not get any ink on there. And Leah and Josh, you can also use these on your windows at home.
Okay, since you two are giving me so much flack about my dirty car, you both can help me clean out my mats.
Leah, bring yours back here. We'll do it.
Deal.
You know I would actually help you. So
you would.
I'm that kind of a person.
Just form a line. We're here.
All right, I'm putting you to work. Madeline O'Neill helping us all out this morning. Thank you, Maddie.
All right, 6:35 right now. I'm going to get so much grief for that.
You are.
Another Democrat is throwing his rat hat into the ring for the 2020 presidential race while the president gets ready to hold a rally in the Midwest today.
Let's keep it together on this Monday. And Danica might be on vacation, but we're still going to talk about her favorite Greek freak and the Bucks' impressive start to the NBA playoffs. Our Kevin Lewis has a report from Milwaukee. That's next on News 3 Now this morning.
Welcome back at 6:38. Just into the Channel3000.com alert center. A Monroe man is dead after a crash in Greene County overnight. The Greene County Sheriff's Department says the crash happened just after 1 this morning on Highway P east of Highway 69. When crews got on scene, the car was on fire. A 30-year-old man was inside the car and was pronounced dead. This is the first fatal traffic crash in Greene County this year.
All right, 6:39 your time. Now let's take a look at our My News 3 morning picture today. Ellie sent in this gorgeous sunrise shot. I love this picture, but I would love to see a little bit more green on those trees.
I think it's going to be coming soon here too, because it looks like there's a little bit of snow, or is that frost on the ground there too?
I think it's...
Is that snow?
I think it's a fence, Josh.
Oh no, but it looks kind of white on the bottom there. I'm not just seeing things. I don't know. Maybe
Hopefully
not.
the snow is done though.
Let's just look at,
forward.
let's just move forward. Let's take a look at that sunrise there, and we're going to look forward to more of that here coming up. Thank you so much for sharing, Ellie. What does your morning look like? Take a picture, post it to the Channel 3000 social media pages using the hashtag MyNews3Morning. Well, Bucks fans are sure to be in a good mood this morning after yesterday's strong start to the NBA playoffs. Kevin Lewis has more on their Game 1 victory.
It's looked every bit like the team with the best record in the NBA, playing a team that had to fight its way into the 8th seed of the Eastern Conference playoffs. The Bucks were up 20 points after the first quarter, 27 at halftime, never let the Pistons back in, and the Deer overmatched Detroit to take a 1-0 series lead.
I think we did a great job just setting the tone, playing hard, playing together. You know, Pistons is a really good team, but we did tonight, we set the tone, and that's why we were able to get a win tonight.
I mean, it's what we've been seeing from Giannis all year, so I think he's prepared himself, he's ready, and he expects a lot of himself, and he delivers a lot of times.
The Bucks led the NBA in defensive efficiency, and they played like it, holding the Pistons to 38% overall shooting and just 8 of 26 from distance.
I think as a group, we all had each other's back. Everybody did their job on their man and their assignments, and then when rotations came to help out other guys, we were sharp with that.
It obviously stands out. I think to sustain it for basically the entire game, have very few, if any, let-ups. It speaks to kind of, I think, the hunger of the group, the character of the group.
Pistons forward Blake Griffin wasn't in uniform, but he did pick up a technical foul after Andre Drummond was ejected for a flagrant foul on Giannis in the second half. Didn't really matter who the Pistons put out on the floor. The Bucks played a complete game to take a commanding 1-0 lead in the series. Game 2, Wednesday night right here at the Fiserv Forum at 7 o'clock. In Milwaukee, I'm Kevin Lewis. News 3 Now Sports.
Thanks so much, Kevin. If you're planning to pick up tickets to Wednesday night's game, be mindful of where you're going to buy them. The Better Business Bureau put out a warning about scammers putting out low-cost tickets online. The organization says those scams are pretty easy to spot, with prices that are too good to be true, third-party sellers with no guarantees, or simply phony websites. The BBB recommends buying your tickets from the Bucks official website. If you are using an outside seller, though, you can check the website's credibility over on bbb.org.
All right, you were right. I was wrong. There is no snow on that picture.
Thank you for checking. I appreciate it.
I had to check. All right, we've got some sunshine to start off the week. Look at that, just beaming behind us.
No snow there.
So we've got some good news there. Let's take a live look outside right now. A beautiful start to this Monday morning. Obviously Monday, so that's a hard enough start, but we've got the sunshine, so we have that to look forward to, and more sunshine before some rain comes. Hattie's going to let us know more about that forecast coming up.
Looking forward to that, but first, it's April 15th. We want to say happy birthday to Aubrey and all the kids turning 3 today. Have a great birthday, and thanks so much for celebrating with us here on News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning from the News 3 Now First Alert Weather Center. We have clear skies to start the day today. Not a bad way to start a Monday. Temperatures should be a little closer to normal as well. Take a look at this 10-day weather planner. You'll see that those numbers within a degree or two of normal for this time of the year. As we head towards the end of April, notice the normal highs in the low 60s as well. So definitely trending in the right direction this week. A lot better than what we had over the weekend. It is going to be a little wet though. Here's the GFS future track. Starting tonight, now there is a chance for a little bit of rain overnight tonight into Tuesday morning. I think there could be a break in the precipitation for Tuesday afternoon, but definitely going to see an increase in the precipitation on Wednesday. This is Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Widespread rain pushing into southern Wisconsin, and then it looks pretty wet through the day Wednesday, even into Thursday before things wind down for the end of the week. We're talking about adding up rain, though, in inches here across southern Wisconsin. We could see 1 to 2 inches of precipitation. Again, that's over several days, but expected by Friday morning. So it is going to be quite a wet week. That means you have to enjoy the dry weather today. Sun is up, skies are clear. Here's the view from the WISC-TV Skycam. If you are flying today, no delays right now at any of the major airports across the country. Here's your travel weather forecast through the midsection of the country. That's where we're looking at the best weather today. Sunshine. 75 in Omaha, 79 in Tulsa, 71 even in Denver. Along the west coast, looking a little wet as the next storm system moves on shore. And our storm system that brought some sort of southeastern Wisconsin is moving out to the east. 61 with some showers and thunderstorms in New York today. But here in southern Wisconsin, we should see a fair amount of sunshine today with warmer temperatures. Not so warm this morning, in the 20s and low 30s for Wisconsin, much of northern Illinois. It is a little warmer out to the west, though, already this morning. Take a look at your current temperatures for southern Wisconsin. 21 in the Dells, 23 here in Madison, still 32 in Mineral Point. That's the warm spot. Your future track forecast model, again, calls for a quick warm-up. Clouds moving into the west later on this afternoon. Will turn cloudy. There's an outside chance for a shower late this afternoon. Better chances though tonight. High temperatures will be in the 50s. That chance for rain diminishes through the morning hours on Tuesday, but it stays wet on Wednesday and Thursday. At least highs will be in the low 60s. Drying out for the upcoming weekend just in time. Highs in the upper 50s and low to mid 60s on Sunday. Here's a look at our pet walk forecast. Oh, buddy. Earl. Earl. Don't you hate it when the snow is taller than you?
Oh, Lord.
He's got short legs.
Oh, man.
I don't think Earl has to worry about that snowbank today,
I was going
though.
to say, Earl's looking forward to this forecast.
Earl's celebrating. All right, Hattie, thank you.
You're welcome.
Stay with us. The Morning Sprint is up next on News 3 Now this morning. 6:51, time now for the morning sprint. Hattie says we will finally start to see the sun and a little bit of a warm-up starting today.
And now that snow is hopefully behind us, Maddie O'Neill has a reminder not to forget about your car when it comes to spring cleaning. But we start in the south this morning where the forecast isn't looking so quiet.
I was up under that pile. When it was pulling the washer and dryer stuff, I didn't have nothing to try to grab because the walls was gone.
At least 7 people were killed as severe storms and more than a dozen tornadoes tore through the south over the weekend. Several towns in Texas were devastated, and there was also a trail of damage in Louisiana and Mississippi. Now that system is working its way to the north and east with more tornado watches in effect for today in Maryland, New York, and Pennsylvania.
Our forecast is significantly quieter here across southern Wisconsin. We are starting in the low 20s in many spots this morning, so you'll definitely want a jacket early today. But the forecast actually looks pretty nice. Through the day, a quick warm up through the 30s and 40s into the low 50s this afternoon. Now, clouds rolling in for the second part of the day with chances for rain then starting tonight.
Heidi, thank you. Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar says she's getting more death threats after President Trump tweeted about a speech she gave last month. Speaking in front of a chapter of the Council of American Islamic Relations, Representative Omar suggested Muslims were treated as second-class citizens following 9/11, referring to the attacks by saying some people did something. Critics say those comments were insensitive to the victims of 9/11, and the president tweeted a video of the comments saying, "We will never forget." Omar says the tweet was inciting violence. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has already talked to the House Sergeant of Arms about Omar's safety.
Meanwhile, President Trump will be in Minnesota today for a rally while his campaign reports raising more than $30 million in the first quarter of the year and more than $40 million overall. That amount rivals that raised by Bernie Sanders, who was just in Madison last week. Sanders is reporting $28 million in campaign funds. Experts say the president will have a head start on fundraising over a crowded field of Democrats.
South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg is the latest Democrat to officially enter the crowded race for president. The 37-year-old is an Afghanistan war veteran and a Harvard grad. He'd be the first openly gay nominee of a major presidential party. Buttigieg told supporters he's running to champion the causes of workers and families. He is now the 18th Democrat to join the 2020 race.
Today marks 6 years since the deadly bombing at the Boston Marathon. 3 people died and hundreds were injured in bombings at the race's finish line back in 2013. Security will once again be high for this year's marathon, kicking off its 123rd running today. CBS This Morning will have more on how schools in the Boston area are teaching their students how to treat trauma and stop the bleed.
Well, all you procrastinators are probably scrambling this morning on this tax day. Your taxes must be postmarked or filed electronically before midnight. And if you're not ready to file today, you can request a 6-month extension. To do that, you need to file Form 4868, giving you until October 15th to file your 2018 taxes. That extension does not mean you also get an extension on paying any taxes you may owe. Now, it's estimated 15 million Americans will file for an extension.
Mayor-elect Satya Rhodes-Conway is preparing to officially be sworn in tomorrow. On her agenda, setting out budget instructions for departments like fire and police. The mayor-elect has previously said the Madison Fire Department could benefit from an extra ambulance, though she says it's premature to say whether either the fire or police departments will get more funding.
People living in a West Side apartment building that partially collapsed last week are being allowed to return home after the building was ruled safe. That's according to an email sent to residents last night. Contractors working in the basement of the building knocked down a load-bearing wall last Monday, causing multiple units to collapse. It was later discovered those contractors didn't have the permits needed to do the work. The apartment complex's management company says they'll reimburse those people for time and items lost in that collapse.
The Milwaukee Bucks are off to a big start in the NBA playoffs after last night's blowout win over the Detroit Pistons, 121-86. The Greek Freak showed why many think he should be the MVP this year, scoring 24 points and grabbing 17 rebounds. The Bucks haven't won a playoff series since 2001. Game 2 is Wednesday night at the Fiserv Forum.
I'm Maddie O'Neill. Now that we can finally put winter in our rearview mirrors, car experts say now is the time to do a good spring cleaning, but that takes more than just going through an automatic car wash. It means getting all of that salt off the exterior of your car, the wheel wells, undercarriage, all of that. Smart Motors Service Manager Jim Ward says they've noticed over the last couple winters more problems to the mechanics of cars because of all the chemicals on roadways. You should also clean the salt stains from the interior of your vehicle using an organic mix. He also says spring is a good time to replace the engine air filter and cabin filter in your vehicle if your regular maintenance hasn't already done that.
Maddie, thank you so much. 6:56 your time now. Let's turn it over to Josh Tim with the final look at your first alert traffic. Hey, Josh.
Yeah, good morning. Not looking too bad on the Beltline right now. Things are starting to pick up, though, westbound between Stoughton Road and West Broadway. Inbound side of John Nolan, you're tapping the brakes near North Shore Drive and Willie Street, moving closer into the downtown area. Other routes heading into Madison, including the interstate, they're moving at the posted speeds right now with no major issues. Your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thank you, Josh.
And it's a beautiful start to this Monday morning. We have clear skies. Take a live look from the Edgewater Sky Cam, looking out over downtown Madison and Lake Mendota. We're looking at temperatures starting in the 20s this morning, climbing quickly though through the day, back into the low 50s. Quite a bit warmer than it was yesterday. Clouds will roll in and chances for rain return late today into tonight. And then it does look like it's going to be pretty wet as we head through the rest of the week. That forecast quite unsettled after today.
At least we're staying warm, though.
Yes, we'll be in the 50s and 60s.
All right, Hattie, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Make it a great Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.